The following has been brought to you by SJP World Media.
Cheers! Cheers, please.
This is the In the Corner Wrestling Podcast. You can listen to the full show every Wednesday and Sunday only on SJP World Media. Now, here's the man in the corner, BenNny Mac.
Welcome to SJP World Media. Hope you've had a good weekend. It is that time again. It is Sunday. It's time for some more In the Corner. We're edging ever so closer to that show that is known as Extreme Rules. Hope you're all doing well. Heavy weekend myself. busy watching some Smackdown. Getting up on the old rumours and everything that's going on in WWE at the moment. We're also going to be in a second, because we are recording this obviously, but we're going to go live on Spaces again on Twitter, and I'm about to open that now so people can hear my lovely voice there on Spaces. But we are recording for obviously SJP Raw Media and In the Corner. This is BenNny Mac. Obviously, welcome to the Spaces on Twitter. Now, we tried this the other day on the episode. We did have some people join the group, which was really cool. I appreciate it. But the problem we had was they couldn't get through. So what it is, if you want to get involved in this podcast right now, as I'm recording before it comes out later today, you can call in and talk about maybe some Smackdown. That's what we're talking about. We're also going to be talking about a few rumours that have been floating around for this past week. But you have to be on a mobile phone. For some reason, Spaces is not available on... it's not available on desktop computers, believe it or not. So I don't really know why that is. But if you want to talk, you can give the option to want to speak, and I can then let you in, and we can have a chat about some WWE content. What you think of it so far? Obviously, a lot of good talk about the fact that Triple H has taken over. And we keep seeing snippets of this, to be honest. And one of the main things I want to talk about this week is actually a backstage segment that I'm sure a lot of you witnessed if you watched SmackDown this past week. But before we get there, there's a few rumors flowing around and some stuff that might be happening down the line. But also, we haven't done an update for it for a while here on In the Corner. But what I wanted to talk about was, very briefly, obviously the multi-time world champion Randy Orton is out of action at the moment. He's got quite a serious, I believe it's a back injury. That's what I seem to find out. But there's a lot of uncertainty apparently on whether he will actually come back to wrestle. The rumors are suggesting that he will be back for Royal Rumble, but basically what I'm reading the last couple of days is basically this could change depending on what's going on with Randy. And I mean, I know that's not a big lot of information from myself, but the injury is quite severe. Apparently worse than they thought at one point. But as I said, early rumors suggest that Orton could return to the Royal Rumble next year. Could be a lot of wrestlers returning to WWE at the Royal Rumble in January, couldn't it? I did see that tickets went on sale as well, and we've had Clash of the Castle in this country. Will we ever get a WrestleMania in this country? I don't know. Royal Rumble would be a good one. Royal Rumble could be a good one to start off. It's the official road to WrestleMania, obviously. So yeah, it would be awesome to see that if we have in this country. But yeah, apparently Orton, basically they're just saying it's very severe. I understand it's a back injury. I'm going to look more into it for next Sunday's episode. On Wednesday, I'm going to announce this now, actually. I've already said we've got Tyler coming on. He's going to be talking a bit of Raw, Monday Night Raw with myself, and also we're going to be doing our predictions for Extreme Rules this Saturday. And Extreme Rules is this Saturday. I love the fact that the pay-per-views are on Saturday now. And the thing is, though, right, from a selfish point of view, I love the fact that it's on Saturday in the UK, because it means it's on at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning over in this country. It is not the end of the world if I fall asleep. But also it means we can get the review hopefully up on the Sunday, which would be brilliant. But I don't have to worry about being up for work. and also in America and around the world, really, anywhere that's close to America, like it makes sense for it to be on a Saturday night. Surely, if you're gonna, because Sunday, I would assume they work Monday to Friday in America. I would assume that. So yeah, it's brilliant that it's on a Saturday. I understand that that's the way it's going to be going forward as well. So that's really cool, to be honest. So yeah, brilliant. Anyway, more rumours floating around that Finn Balor. Obviously, he's one of the biggest stars of the company, first ever Universal Champion. Unfortunately, got an injury when he won the championship against Seth Rollins, and literally had less than a 24-hour. I think it was about 24 hours he was champion for, which is such a shame that he. I think he separated his shoulder, didn't he? But apparently, a lot of people are sort of pointing towards Finn Balor going down the line. At least there's significant plans for him in the future. And the rumor is, it's written by somebody. Basically, obviously, Triple H, Finn Balor. We all know what that's about, but apparently he's got a big future ahead of him in terms of what he could be doing. Obviously, he's currently with Judgment Day. Whether that is part of that deal, I don't know. But it's obviously Finn Balor's having a I Quit match at Extreme Rules this Saturday. We'll get into that more on the Wednesday show. So yeah, apparently he's got big plans for him. Nothing concrete, as they're all rumours, aren't they, at the end of the day? But it would be cool to see a bit more Finn Balor. I feel like the Judgment Day group, it's on sort of, it's getting there. I think we need a bit more heelish stuff. They're doing all they can, but I'm not at the moment, because thing is, somebody said the other day that they lose a lot. This is my problem. And I get it to a degree, because you can still be a good heel and lose matches. But we haven't really, since they kicked out Edge, we haven't really seen Judgment Day on a roll, have we? So when they come to the ring, yes, there's danger and numbers and all that kind of stuff. And the angle between Dominic Mysterio and Rey is really good. And that's part of the reason I tune into Raw now. But I'd like to have seen Judgment Day, or at least be a bit more like unstoppable for a while. That way, when their music hits, I feel like there might be a bit more like, when Shield's music used to hit, after they laid out a few people here, left, right, and centre, when the Shield's music came on, you knew stuff was going down. So it would be cool to see a bit more of that, if that makes any sense. But yeah, big plans for Finn Balor, apparently. We'll see how they go, I guess. We'll see. So it's all going to take time. It's obviously that question of who is going to dethrone Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns obviously defending the championship against Logan Paul. Crown Jewel. This is a good opportunity. I've already said this, but a good opportunity for Logan Paul because I've been quite impressed with him in the ring. I'm not a fan of his necessarily, but in terms of how he's been in the ring, his promo work needs a bit of work, but in the ring, he's got the potential. That's all I can say about Logan Paul, really. As much as it pains me to say, he's doing well. And I'm sure he loved the fact that I don't like him, and I think he's doing well. So, it's a double-edged thing there, really. Last one before we move on to SmackDown. So AJ Styles apparently recently faced Roman Reigns at a live event on a Saturday. Again, rumours are churning. Again, they're all rumours, obviously. It would be cool to see this, maybe. We've kind of seen Roman and AJ, but Roman and AJ Styles were in Vancouver last weekend, and the speculation is it's all from WrestlingNews.co, by the way. This is where this is from. Basically, Styles could be in line for a feud with Undisputed Universal Champion Reigns. And they did feud, I think, back in 2016, I believe. And they had a pretty good few matches, to be fair, and they had a feud at Payback, I think, in Extreme Rules 2016. So the matches were good, actually, I think. And I think it helped Roman be taken a bit more seriously, because obviously he was still... Not that Roman's ever been bad in the ring, but because of the whole I'm a good guy angle, and they always tried to push him as a good guy, but yet he was getting booed quite consistently on TV. I think to see AJ Styles versus Roman, and somebody wants to see Roman lose, don't they? This is what I mean about when you have someone who's dominant for so long, going back to the Judgment Day. you need to set. I feel like when you see, like, when Undertaker came out or Kane's music hit back in the day, a Big Show. I mean, yeah, they're giants, but like you were like, oh god, because they whipped ass basically. So I feel like the Judgment Day needs to do a bit more of that. They have been doing it, but it's just I don't know. I just we need to see more. I don't know what it is. The whole Ray thing. When they come out, maybe they beat down on a few people, leave, and don't say anything, and then they keep, But the Judgment Day, I think, have got a good future. Obviously, how these Finn Balor plans, if they are true, fit into that, I don't know. Maybe Finn Balor, because at the moment they all talk about Finn Balor being the leader of Judgment Day, but I don't feel there's like a real leader in it. Like there's nobody who is. If you're going to pick somebody, no offense to Rhea or Damien at all, Priest, but every time I say Damien, I want to say Sandow. And I did say it on a podcast a few weeks ago. I know I did. Because I listened back to him. Oh, you muppet. So Priest. It could be interesting. You feel like Finn, based on experience, would be the clear-cut leader of Judgment Day. But it doesn't seem to be one, which I like at the moment. But maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure what we need. I feel as though we need to see Judgment Day on a bit of a winning streak to make them, in the eyes of the fans and myself, feel a bit more of a threat, which they already are. But in order to go, like I said, I need to move on because I'm repeating myself now. But basically, when they come out, when that music hits, you go, oh shit, here comes the Judgment Day, like the Shield was back in the day, or the Brothers of Destruction, and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I've not waffled too much. But yeah, a few rumours there from this past week. But yeah, Smackdown this week. To be fair, Smackdown, we'll go through a few of the results and stuff. But overall, a good show. It wasn't one of their better ones in the recent weeks, but it wasn't one of their worst either. A good balanced show, to be honest, was the best way to say it. We had Solo, Sikoa, and Sami Zayn kick off the show and defeat Ricochet and Madcap Moss, and that was a result of what happened on the previous week's SmackDown. The one thing that was interesting, by the way, Sikoa and Sami Zayn beat Ricochet and Madcap Moss after Sikoa flattened Ricochet with a spinning solo Uranagi, which is basically a rock bottom. It's called a Uranagi anyway, but he spins it around, which is really cool. Was a little homage there to you would think to The Rock maybe, but Sikoa though, right? I know obviously who he is. He's the Uso's brother. Obviously the other son of Rikishi, I believe, anyway. But I tell you what, Umaga, he looks a bit like Umaga. I mean, he's got that look about him, but that's the way he's been portrayed as well. But basically, it's a case of... it reminds me of Taz a little bit, is what I'm trying to get at. So, yeah. It's been really... he's good so far. My cat's in the background. Meow, I thought I could hear something in my headset. That's why I stopped speaking. There we go. Moving on. Jey Uso confronted Sami Zayn. He wouldn't let Sami Zayn into the locker room, basically saying that he see through his deception and will make him pay for the if he make him pay if he jeopardizes. I can't talk. Jeopardizes. Oh my god! Jeopardizes the bloodline. Basically. Oh my god. Jey Uso and Sami Zayn are going to come to head at some point. Sami Zayn getting a bit too comfortable maybe and saying, well, you want to take it up with the Big Uso himself, being obviously Roman Reigns wearing that new Uso shirt. The biggest Hit Row and defeat Los Lotharios. I haven't got much to say about Hit Row. They're getting better. Los Lotharios I feel like could be a really good heel team at some point. I've not seen enough of them to really, but the match was average at best. You know, it was a good match. I can't really pick anything apart from it. It was just that's who won. Ronda Rousey versus Natalya on SmackDown was. I've seen this match so many times now. I didn't care, to be honest, when this match came out. There's nothing wrong with Ronda Rousey or Natalya. I've just seen this match so many times. As you can imagine, Ronda Rousey defeats Natalya. Bit of a Ronda's leaving. Liv Morgan comes out. They get into a bit of a scrap ringside, actually, and they have to be pulled apart. Actually, quite good, actually, to be fair. That was, I'm still a bit wary about this Extreme Rules match. I'm hoping it's going to be good, but I'm not fully sold on it, to be honest. That was cool in itself. Just seeing those two go out and being separated. So that gave me a little bit more hope for this match at Extreme Rules. That's a bit... Imperium came to the ring, cut a bit of a promo, and then Sheamus came out, had no Butch or Ridge the Fridge with him, and basically it was quite funny actually because Sheamus comes out and says, I haven't got them with me, but I'm still coming down to basically confront them. Gunther sends his goons out after him. Sheamus pulls out a shillelagh and knocks him down. Him and Gunther get into it in the ring, which is cool. The crowd go quite have a bit of a pop for it because basically what's happening next week is the season premiere of Smackdown apparently on Fox, and Sheamus will be challenging once again for the Intercontinental Championship before Extreme Rules. I thought this match was going to happen at Extreme Rules, but I believe there's a 6-man tag match going on now. That's why. I don't see Gunther losing it on SmackDown. Don't get me wrong, I will pop big time if he does, but we'll see what happens. So that's quite a big match for next week. I'm interested to see, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing. But when title matches for me always feel like they should be at least on pay-per-views. Not all the time, but then we've already had this at a pay-per-view, I suppose. So maybe that's why. And we're gonna have there's gonna be a hell of a brawl at Extreme Rules, isn't it? Let's face it. At the end of the day, but Gunther and all that leave Sheamus laying. Sheamus does actually call. They beat him down the first time, and then Sheamus pulls them through and says, "Is that all you got?" So they go back down in Ludwig, and I want to say Eichner, but that's not his name now. Basically, lay him down. So yeah, it was cool. It's going to be interesting next week on SmackDown for the IC title. Obviously, I'm assuming we'll see Butch. Maybe that match should be a cage match and keep the rest of Imperium out of it. Not that they got involved really at Clash of the Castle. So it was a damn good match, to be fair. Bayley was on SmackDown, defeats Shotzi. Shotzi returned with the tank as well. Bayley won, of course, courtesy of the Rose Plant maneuver. Bayley attempted to crush Shotzi between a ladder, but Bianca Belair made the save. So seeing actually the Raw Women's Champion of SmackDown was a bit of we're actually seeing some actual storytelling. I've already spoke about this, but what this means for the draft split thing, I don't know anymore. We'll see what happens as it goes along, I guess. This is Bianca Belair, at Extreme Rules. Should be pretty interesting, to be honest. It's a ladder match as well. We can see Damage Control definitely get involved, and we could actually... This could be a good way of getting the belts off Bianca, because maybe we have Damage Control come in and basically maybe Alexa and Asuka come in and try and help, and it backfires, which could lead to maybe some more interesting stories going forward in terms of Bianca Belair, because I feel as though she needs to lose the title to get that chase back, so to speak, and maybe have a feud with somebody else, maybe someone like an Asuka or an Alexa, maybe. Anyway, we'll get those predictions in next Wednesday. But that's my initial thoughts on it. Anyway, like I said, the main event was Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and Johnny Gargano taking on Alpha Academy and Theory. And as you'd imagine, actually a really good match, to be honest. 6-man tag match. We seem to be having those a lot lately. It's a good way of getting everyone on the show, I guess. But there's actually a really good main event on SmackDown. The main events in the last few weeks on both shows have been really good. Sometimes there are matches I think I don't want to see, but then I'm watching them and I go, actually, that was actually pretty good, to be honest. But the biggest thing for me this week, for me at least, obviously let me know if you happen to be listening on Spaces. The Spaces will go up, I'll advertise them as close to the time as I can. Some people might be available, some people might not, but obviously you can hear me on Spaces, and obviously everybody can hear me on SJP World Media. the whole point of Spaces, ladies and gents, is to see if we can get some people listening and maybe get some people's thoughts and get them to call into the show. It might take a few weeks, but there we go. But you need to follow In the Corner WWE on Twitter, and then you can look out for the Spaces. I will try and get them scheduled a few days before from now on. A bit of a rush today again, but you know, I will be recording on Wednesday. The show comes out Wednesday night, and then I record on a Sunday, and it comes out Sunday night. So that's the idea, really, of it going forward. But one of the biggest things for me, and it's not even like a match in the ring, to be honest, was actually Dupree and Maximum Male Models. Dupree is actually formerly known as LA Knight from NXT. I had a really good run down there, and I couldn't understand when he came up he was Dupree. Now, I didn't watch everything that LA Knight did, but I understand it was a good run down there. So hopefully when he came up, I was like, oh, cool. But then he came in with this Dupree and Maximum Male Model stuff. I was like, well, what the hell is this, you know? And to be honest, I'm still not on board with the Maximum Male Models. I know some people are, but they tried to pull off the, what was it, the best pose or something for in Canada for a world record. And Dupree got excited. They said title, but then they were like, oh, yeah, it's a posing thing. And he was like, for goodness sake, and walked away. And throughout the show, we saw snippets of them holding this pose while other superstars walked past them and mocked him maybe, or said something else to them or whatever, Kevin Owens being one of them. And she was, I can't remember her name, she was about to count down for the record, and out of nowhere, Dupree, LA Knight, comes out and says, this is pathetic, blah, 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 this is not what I signed up for. But the biggest moment for me was he took his belt off, which has the Maximum M logo, and he said, this was never really me, and then threw it to the ground. So maybe next week, or maybe even at Extreme Rules, we may see the return of LA Knight. I feel as though it's more like a Smackdown thing, and then get him built and rolling going forward. So, you know, and there was a good pop actually when he threw the belt down, when he said, this isn't me, and very emphasis, this was never me. So I love that, to be honest. And I know it's not the biggest piece of news in terms of what's been going on SmackDown. Overall, SmackDown was good. Like I said, I wouldn't say it's one of their best shows, but there were some good moments in it. I mean, Drew McIntyre sent a message to Karrion Kross at the end of the six-man tag team match and hit the strap over Theory, basically. So, haven't seen Karrion Kross. I'm assuming we're waiting. We might see him, I think, on the Friday night episode of SmackDown, possibly, coming up. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. There's been a lot of talk still about the possibility of Bray Wyatt's return still. Whether that's actually going to happen, I don't know. Be very interesting if he does. All these QR codes and stuff apparently are pointing towards Bray Wyatt. There's also talk of Aleister Black, like I've already said. I'm enjoying watching it play out, to be honest. All these people picking up on little hints. People are a lot cleverer than me who are picking up on things and working things out. And like I said, I'd say 99% of it is pointing towards Bray Wyatt coming to WWE. So I'm sure we will see on whether he does or not. And there's been pictures of the lantern in the Extreme Rules logo. Is it going to be Extreme Rules? Is it not? I don't know. Do you know what? There's some good matches at Extreme Rules coming up anyway. I'm already going to be watching. And with the prospect of possibly somebody returning to WWE at Extreme Rules, it just adds that extra buzz, doesn't it? And I tell you what, it's got a lot of people talking about WWE, to be fair, over these last few weeks with all these QR codes. That's me. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening to the show. Apologies about the cat over there. What was that about? I'm pretty sure it was the cat. I'm hoping either the house is haunted. I don't know. This is In the Corner. This is BenNy Mac. Thank you for listening here on SJP World Media, and we'll see you again Wednesday for Raw and our Extreme Rules predictions. Have a good week, guys.